I'll unlock the door.
Rise, Hector, and be reborn!
The Ashen Lord
Where
commands
is this
it,
place?
and so we live once more, Orfra.
Alive again? How?
You have the Ice Reach Coven to thank for that, werewolf.
Using my recipes, witch.
I meant no disrespect to Exarch Singalis.
We're being watched, brother.
Next time, Thada the Ashen Lord will expect more than the restoration of a single reliquary. Now deal with the intruders, or I'll toss you to the Harrow Fiends.
Come out, little skeevers. Come out and play with Sister Tharda.
How many of your sisters am I gonna have to kill before you give up?
My dear sisters, our vengeance will plague you beyond the grave.
Witch for the pyre. Let's go after the other two. Damn, we lost them.
You saw it too, right? That werewolf shed that statue like a snake sheds its skin. Was she inside that stone husk the whole time, waiting to be awakened? Or did the ritual somehow summon her into that vessel? There's a lot I still don't understand. A ritual, obviously. Remember the altar at Kilcreath? We found the urn, the reliquary, and shards from a large stone vessel. I think they were the remains of one of those stone husks. I'm not sure how, but it all ties back to the Harrowstorms. I thought the purpose of the Harrowstorms were to create Harrow Fiends, but now I think that's only a byproduct. The storm somehow gathered energy that the witch used to summon Ulfra the werewolf. Ulfra seems to think she was brought back to life. I've come to the conclusion that anything is possible where magic is concerned. I'm going to look around with Lyris, then return to Old Mjolnir to finish studying the witchpike residue. Maybe that will help me understand how the... I don't know of any Ashen Lord, but Exarch. I came across the term after the incident at the mass grave in Banquerai. It's a rank, used by the ancient army. Its members were buried in that unhallowed grave, and their remains were smuggled here. The Grey Host. It was an army of vampires and werewolves that rampaged across Hammerfell during the First Era. There aren't a lot of records remaining, and even the burial site was a closely held secret. Exarch was a rank, like General, I suppose. I don't know. But that's the impression I got from the witch's conversation with the Exarchs. I wish I knew more about this Sengalis and Ulfra, though. And the Ashen Lord, for that matter. That's why I want to check the ritual site.
Damn it! The vampire and the werewolf are long gone. They called themselves Singalis and Ulfra, and they had an unusual rank or title, Exarch. I wonder what that means. Yeah, I heard. No idea who or what that is, though. Maybe Fen can make sense of what we saw down here. In the meantime, I'm gonna head back inside. I want to get a better look at those stone husks that were left behind. While Fen and I examine that ritual site more closely, you should return to Solitude and inform Svanna that her mother's assassin has been taken care of. She'd want to know. More than that, she deserves to know. I left Svanna back at the Lonely Troll under the care of that drunken orc Mog. Unless he ignored my rather stern warnings, he should be keeping the princess there. I'll meet you back in the city once we finish here.
Did those two idiots watch your back? More traps? Did those two idiots set these things throughout all of Blackreach? Watch your back.
Finally! Waiting in a tavern without a drink is maddening. How do other people do it? And Mog hasn't been helpful. His solution to every problem involves a great amount of alcohol. What news of the bastard who murdered my mother? Did you find him? I would have preferred to see him dragged back here for a proper trial and execution. But at least justice has been served. Were you able to determine who was behind the murder? Was it connected to the threat you came to warn my father about? Damn those Reach witches! And damn my father for being so obstinate! But what does the Coven want? Are they planning to kill my father? What else can you tell me about this threat to our kingdom? That's horrible. But there must be more to this than simply turning my people into monsters. Well, I'll do what I can to help you. Mother would have wanted me to. What you've done and discovered will be enough to convince my father. It has to be. You and Lyris risked your lives for my kingdom and have been met with nothing but suspicion. You counted on my mother to be your advocate, to convince my father of the Coven's threat. Now she's gone. I'm no substitute, but I'll speak for you. My father hasn't heard a word I've said since I was old enough to talk. But with Mother gone, someone has to make him see reason. You know, she tried to teach me, but I never listened. I guess maybe I'm more like my father than I care to admit. That makes it even more imperative that he heeds your warning and takes action. All of the holds are in danger. Hoffingar, Hjalmarch, Karthald. My father needs to do something before another storm strikes. Meet me at the Blue Palace, all right? I just need a moment to think about how to approach this. Consider the words to use. My courtly manners are a bit rusty, and I've never been much for diplomacy and fancy speeches. Shore's bones, I could use a drink. Wish me luck, Mog.
What is it?
Another day, another infernal hellstorm.
If you have any experience with jails or escapes, I could make use of it.
fascinating application of the technique.
You would have me spread my forces across the realm to search for nightmares you dredged up from a bottle?
It's not!
Or should I say, the whispers of eastern vipers tickling your ears?
But Mother!
Enough! Then next you come before me to vomit up your counsel. Make sure it doesn't stink of treason.
Oh. Damn the man. He wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise. Mother always knew how to talk to him. Me, not so much. Mother had a way with Father, but she could be just as stubborn. If she wanted something done and he wouldn't oblige, she'd do it herself. Time to take her lessons to heart, I guess. If my father won't take a stand, then I suppose it's up to me. Our kingdom consists of 3 holds. Halfingar, Hjalmarch, and Karthald. I need to warn them. The Jarls might listen, even if my father won't. I'm the daughter of the High King, after all. Time to start acting like one. Will you come with me? We should visit Jarl Redharn of Hjalmarch first. If we can convince him of the threat, at least his hold can take steps to protect itself. We'll find him in his hall in Morthal. I'll leave word for Lyris with Mog, so she'll know where to find us.
What do you want? Wolves of ice and bone attacked Brune, my lady, and he saw ghosts.
Ghosts? Nonsense. Get him to the inn and I'll do
Lucky
right.
Mog passed along your message. I would have hated to miss all this mud.
Why does the Princess of Solitude grace my humble hall with her royal presence? Are you here on behalf of the High King?
I've come to warn you, Jarl Redharn.
Warn me? I already received orders from your father. What more is there to say?
Orders? Right. But you need to prepare the hold's defenses.
And what must we defend ourselves against this time? More urns and fetishes?
Please, Jarl Redharn, let my friend explain. The threat to our holds is worse than you can imagine.
You're not the subject of this realm, and that woman with you. She's the giantess of the East. The High King warned us to beware of packed spies. If Princess Svanna trusts you, however, you have my ear. Tell me about this threat. We're not Daedra worshippers. Our blood's hot enough to boil a blizzard. We've got more pressing concerns than some northern squall. We received Svargrim's orders, promptly ignored them, and immediately ran afoul of a gaggle of Reachmen. The High King sent a royal decree, said to leave any strange objects or fetishes we spotted around the hold alone. They were dangerous, he said. Just so happens we found a few. I had my soldiers destroy them. That's when we encountered the Reachmen. The barbarians reacted poorly when we destroyed the strange witch sticks. We beat them back and chased them into the nearby barrow. But that was the last I heard from my soldiers. Since you dealt with this before, would you investigate the barrow? If I were a few years younger and had more soldiers to spare, I'd march east to the Morthal barrow and deal with the sorceress nonsense myself. But I'm not, I don't, and I have other responsibilities. Take this key. It will get you into the barrow. They were tall, ugly things, covered in strange runes, fetishes, and a poultice that smelled like rotting fungus. They'd been set up around the town. My soldiers assumed they'd find one at the barrow, but instead they sent word of the Reachmen. Really? Last I heard, the princess was more interested in... No, I won't indulge in idle gossip. Svanna carries herself well. Not with the grace of her mother, but she has the swagger of a warrior. I wish I could say the same about my daughter. She was taken from us 5 years ago. If I had pushed her harder, she might have had the strength to survive. Daughters are a father's greatest weakness. Enough troubles of the past. We have the present to concern ourselves with.
There's trouble in Hafengar. Something about a strange storm at Kilcreath Temple. Priests and pilgrims were wiped out.
Poor sods.
I heard Jarl Redharn has ordered the soldiers to search the hold.
What is it?
I wonder what they're looking for.
See that mound? That's the barrow. The entrance will be down below.
Keep back! The barrow is unsafe.
Jarl Redharn sent us. What happened here?
Reachmen. Let's talk if you want details.
Those bodies, they're the Jarl's soldiers.
A meager harvest. This grey reliquary must be moved to more fruitful fields. Protect the witch pipe. Do not let them destroy it.
That's done. Let's tell the Jarl what happened here. If I never have to enter another barrow, it will be too soon. No sign of that witch or the reliquary she ran off with. We should get back to the Jarl's Hall. We saw the last stand of what could have been a much larger attack on Morthal. The witch pike in the barrow was the only one that wasn't destroyed before they performed the ritual. Soldiers were caught in the Harrowstorm, but the town was spared. That's what happened in Kilcreath after the storm hit. I'm more curious about the witch, though. Why was that gray reliquary important enough for her to grab it and run off as soon as she spotted us? Come on, let's go talk to Jarl Redharn.
dog threw up all over the Sword Thane's boots.
Well, friend of Svanna, are you as good as your word? Tell me what you discovered at the Morthal Barrow. A harrow storm, like the thing the princess was telling me about? The thing that destroyed Kilcreath? Gods! A pox on the Reach and its barbarian horde! What else? What about the Reachmen in the barrow? Disappointing, but not unexpected. Reach witches are a tricky lot. Still, you have my thanks. In the meantime, Hjalmar shall prepare for war. We may not have a defense against the harrow storms, but we can be ready to attack once we have a target.
With you and Lyris's help, we've gained the trust of Jarl Redharn. My father respects the Jarl. That will go a long way in convincing the High King to take the Coven's threat seriously. Now we need to do the same thing at Carthald. Jarl Ulfwen rules the Hold, which was established to provide a defensible border against the Reach. If any of the Western Holds can deal with this threat, it's Carthald. But first, I have one more thing to discuss with Jarl Redharn. Jarl Redharn, prepare your forces as you say, but we need you in Solitude.
Solitude? I have troubles here in Hjalmarch. Why should I leave when my hold needs me?
High King Svargrim won't listen to us, but he might listen to you.
Get up, Princess. If you think it will help, I'll talk to your father.
Lyris, please escort the Jarl to Solitude.
Of course. What about you?
We need to warn Jarl Ulfwen, so we're going to Carthald.